news came out the other day, or probably a week ago when this comes out, that Tom Holland has taken a year break from acting.
Yeah,
and
from
now,
the industry in general, yeah.
Yeah, he said he was golfing, going to Grand Prix, doing a lot of that stuff. This isn't the first time I think we've heard actors do some things like that. Sometimes they don't make it public knowledge,
right?
Like he did. But a lot of controversy because his Apple TV Plus series just came out called The Crowded Room. Mm-hmm. It's come out with very poor reviews, 29% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics. Audience is another thing, which we'll talk about in a minute, but not great reviews. This isn't the first time that a Tom Holland movie has gotten bad reviews. Obviously, his Spider-Man movies have been a success, but his other work, not so much. I don't know. This is interesting because there's been a lot of confusion. People thought that he announced this because of the bad reviews of The Crowded Room, but actually he's already 8 months into his year off.
Which, doesn't that make sense then, that's why he would talk about it?
Yes.
Okay.
So he started, I'm assuming, his break from acting after he shot this, which he has said it kind of forced him into a mental breakdown of sorts when he was playing this character, because I believed he's someone wrongly accused of murder. Is that the series? That's what it's about.
I have no idea. I haven't seen it.
Let me read it. In Manhattan in the summer of 1979, a young man is arrested for a shocking crime, and an unlikely investigator must solve the mystery behind it before the true criminal strikes again. So obviously he's playing a criminal, whether or not he did it or not, but it's probably a mentally tolling role, according to him. But this is what he had to say right here. He said, I was seeing myself in the character, but in my personal life, which obviously we've heard of that. I remember having a bit of a meltdown at home and thinking like, I'm going to shave my head. I need to shave my head because I need to get rid of this character. And obviously we were mid-shooting, so I decided not to. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. So that's what happens when you don't do a superhero movie. But it's interesting. I mean, we've heard actors say this notoriously, like, oh, I go home after a role and I can't get out of character. I'm not an actor. I've never experienced that. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but apparently the reviews for this film this show aren't that good. So how deep did he really get into this role, Nick? I don't know.
So, okay. Can we talk about this from a production standpoint?
Yeah.
Okay, really quick. So, like, in between action and cut,
yep.
What would you say? Let's use Cadillac, the movie that we made. How much time do actors have to remain in character?
In between?
In between action and cut, on average.
They don't have to.
A minute? No, they do. But in between action and cut.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, yes.
During a take.
Yes.
A minute? 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Unless it's a crazy thing like on Succession when they film for half an hour
whatever.
straight.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay? So, like, I've never understood this, like, this method acting that takes over your entire life. Like Heath Ledger, who lives as the Joker before he died. Mm-hmm. And, like, Tom...
Which people have come out and said that wasn't even true, too.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like these... he needs to shave his head because he's bad at...
He feels that? Yeah.
There's something else. First of all, if it's true, you need medication, Tom.
Right,
you
there's
need
other
therapy
underlying issues.
Yeah, you're not the character. I don't know if you know this or not, but your job is to play pretend. Yeah. It's to be something else. Mm-hmm. If you're living your life as the character, then there's something wrong with you. Yeah. This is my issue with, like, Jeremy Strong. But Jeremy Strong has admittedly said, I mean, he's a weirdo. Yeah, but he only does that while he's on set. The guy has a family. Right. Like, he goes home to his family, and you know what I mean?
But that's in his control. Tom Holland's situation, he's claiming that it's he's, like, can't control it.
Right, which is why I feel like it's a big I want your opinion, but it's a publicity stunt. It's bullshit.
For me, like, if I'm, like, say, like, I'm writing a script and it's, like, a very dark thing, like, the content is not something that'll cheer you up, sure. I will find myself, like, being in a headspace after I put it down, like, you know, because you're dealing, but then, like, an hour later, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Do I, like, live for a few months trying to get out of that headspace? No. So
do you need to take a year? Well, now, so here's the other thing. He did say, Tom Holland did say that he didn't just act in this. He also produced it. Right. And this is why I say that he's being a crybaby.
But is he a producer or is he here's my name on the credits?
I don't know. But what I'm saying is that he said that it was a lot of work for him.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
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 Yeah, go talk to somebody who works 3 shifts at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Okay?
But if he actually was producing the show and acting, yeah, that takes a lot out of you. I can't imagine.
Bro, but you don't take a year. Listen, this is the biggest. Oh, I'm not trying to get
hang on. So you have
bro,
an issue with him.
He's a multi-millionaire. He takes a year off. He needs to separate himself from the industry.
I don't know if you had that.
Come on, give me a break.
If you had fuck you money, wouldn't you can take a year off?
But I wouldn't. I wouldn't feel the need to announce it. And say,
yes, I agree with you. That is the weirder part.
You know what I mean?
So I have no issue. There's plenty of actors that probably do this. Take 6 months off, 12 months off.
We just started this episode by saying that you're going on vacation.
Yeah,
it's
right.
But it's not. And you might be like, listen, you work very hard on this show. You have a second job. I bitch about it all the time because I wish you were here all the time. So like, you work very hard. But you're going to Italy because it's a vacation that was planned. You're not going, and
because
then
I need it.
We're like putting an announcement out that there's no movie mob next week because RJ needs a time to reflect. He's like, fuck off, dude. This is your job. If you don't want to produce something, you can go right back to acting without having to produce anything. Right. You make what, 1 movie a year?
Like mental health, big issue. Like
I'm
always for that. Supporting
but give me
that.
a fucking dude. At what point do we draw the line, though? That's what I want to know.
At what point does this cross into he actually had a mental health thing, or it's a marketing thing too?
Yeah, that's okay.
So if he's like, I dive so deep into this role, like everyone's gonna watch this performance.
Exactly. Who announces a year off 8 months into that year?
Right.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right when the show comes out. You're
Yeah.
exactly right. That's why people got it confused with maybe he took the year off because of the negative reviews. We obviously had already taken it. So it's at a 30% critic, but the audience score is 91%. Now that to me though is Tom Holland is one of those actors just like Timothée Chalamet who has like a big fan base.
Well, he's
where
a good
they're
actor.
going to go out to just like give those 5 out of 5 reviews because it's Tom Holland.
Do you think people actually do that?
Yes. Look, the first review that popped up here. So I watched the first 3 episodes, and wow, is there any character Tom Holland cannot play? Like, yeah, there are. There's plenty.
Okay.
Listen, I don't want to shit on Tom Holland because I love his portrayal of Spider-Man. I think he's fantastic as Peter Parker. But
have you watched this?
No, I have not. But I have seen him in other things, and he's not. I don't think he's a bad actor, but I don't think he's the best actor either. He's obviously he's older than me, but he does have that childish nature to him, which is perfect for Peter Parker, but playing like a murderer.
Sorry
and obviously, listen, if he's going through some real mental stuff, I hope he obviously gets on the other side of it. We're going to talk about another situation like that, probably even a worse way to handle it. And obviously, he's spoken about the Spider-Man movies too. You know, for a good period there, he was in from 2016 when they did Civil War all the way up to Endgame 2019, and then they did 2 more Spider-Man movies, so he's been doing those too.
You have shows out right now like The Idol, okay?
Yep.
And I know you're not a fan, and rightfully so.
Mhm.
But Lily, you have people like Lily Rose Depp, right? Who's starring in The Idol.
I've heard she's great.
She's actually really good.
Yep.
And The Weeknd should keep to singing. And
Yep.
I have way more to say about it. Tune in. But the reason I mentioned The Idol is because that there is someone who, while they're on set, literally has to be naked most of the time. Yeah. Very vulnerable state, and like shooting that, like you can't get the way that the film set works, right? Is like she won't have time in between takes or in between scenes or whatever it is to get fully dressed, feel totally comfortable, and then go back onto set and get undressed and go back to the. So this woman, Lily Rose Depp, has to be naked for most of the day. You know what I mean? When they're shooting these scenes like this, and you don't see her coming out and say, like, she's been advocating for the show. Everybody's been shitting on the show, and she's been like, no, I think it's a really important story, or whatever it is.
And it's work she's done, so obviously she's proud of it.
But what I'm saying is it doesn't necessarily make it easy. You know what I mean?
No. I don't think we're saying it's easy.
But what I mean is that Tom Holland is not a murderer, okay? As far as we know, hopefully.
Yeah, who knows?
I know.
Yeah.
And although the work itself might be strenuous on his mental health, which again, mental health super important, but like there's a lot of fucking downtime, okay?
Right. Does he go home after Spider-Man? He's shooting webs in his living room? Yeah.
Maybe by himself.
From a certain point of view.
Or with Zendaya.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Jeez.
But do you get what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, you're not, like, I don't know. I mentioned this stuff because like we just shot a mob movie. Okay, great actor Savino, right?
Yeah.
Savino played the mob boss. I highly doubt that like we shot it over a couple of weekends. I highly doubt that during the week that we weren't shooting in the middle that Savino was walking around Providence going, "Hey, oh."
And obviously, short film, big difference though.
Sure, but I'm talking about acting. I'm talking about acting and being in character and all of that stuff. I don't think that John Potvin had that much of an issue. Right. You jump in, you do your job the right way, you say your lines, and yes, there are. Let's watch this trailer because I want to see what this is about, really. But
yeah, I was gonna say though, like Michael J. White, who was on the Dark Knight, said on, I think it might have been Joe Rogan. He was talking about Heath Ledger, and he said that like these rumors about Heath Ledger like being like consumed by the Joker were false, and that in between takes he was the nicest guy, like laughing and joking around.
Yeah, he was just a drug
Some
addict.
of the best actors can can do that. You know.
Yeah. No. Listen, I get it, and but that's what makes them
the
good.
Hair. You know what I'm saying?
Let's watch. I want
right.
to see what the character is.
There's a knife.
You know why you're here?
I have these blank spots.
What are you not telling yourself?
Did you see him run? Did you see him run?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it seems like a generic crime thriller show.
Generic, bro. I got the chills. I think it's beautiful. It's beautifully shot. I think it looks really. I like. It's a period piece. It's clearly in the
money out the wazoo.
I get it. But like the cinematography, like the way I like the angles, the composition of the shots and everything. The lighting looks super cool. It looks really good.
Every trailer we watch looks really good.
Maybe I'm just.
Are you gonna try it out?
Today.
You gonna try it?
Maybe.
Yeah. I
Probably
just don't
not.
buy him in the role, but that's me.
I mean, I don't know.
I see Spider-Man with long hair, but listen, maybe it's good. Try it.
You didn't watch that trailer and think this could be decent.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the verdict here? So
What's the verdict?
Is he just being a pain in the ass? Is it publicity or what?
I think it's completely normal for someone to take a break from acting. I just think the fact that he announced it like that makes me think it might be a marketing thing.
Right. Fair
Somewhat.
enough. I totally agree.
To some degree.
Oh, no, I think it is. I think they called him and said, listen, these critic scores are crazy, and nobody believes you because they see Spider-Man with long hair.
Yeah.
So you need to make this like you almost killed somebody.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Thanks for watching that clip from the Movie Mob podcast. Be sure to subscribe to Wilco Media and tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. for our full weekly episodes. How you doing? All right.